Aquarium Monday on Daily Download. This is your Aquarium Monday from the Two Oceans Aquarium, and obviously we're doing it with the Daily Download team, but we have a new member with us, Maryke from the Two Oceans Aquarium. How are you doing today?
Always really good. It's lovely when you guys are around, and we love sharing our stories with your station.
Thank you so much for having us. Well, last time, the very first time we came here, we were in a tunnel, but now we are in a newer tunnel. Where are we today?
Yes, this is our lovely ocean exhibit. Okay. So it's our newer large exhibit with a full tunnel. The other one was just half a tunnel, so we've upgraded. Okay. Purely because for years and years and years, visitors said, like, where's your full tunnel? And we decided best we listen to our visitors.
Sure.
So we've built this, it's an extension to the aquarium. So we offer more to our visitors now. You get to experience more. But it's lovely being in a tunnel because we're under the ocean.
You're right.
You know, and we dry, but we're under the ocean. So this is what it feels like when you're diving. It's just, you don't get cold and wet.
Love it. And the fish are above you.
Yeah.
It's really like you're under the water, but like you say, without the whole wet part.
Yes, which is actually a lot of fun, but very few people get the opportunity to actually see what's under the surface of the ocean. Bearing in mind, the ocean covers 70% of our planet, and very few people get to experience that. So this is part of that whole process of creating awareness and actually just being under the sea.
Yeah. Well, speaking of awareness, an animal that a lot of people have been raising awareness about are sea turtles. And I believe you have some here in this exhibit?
Yes. So we've got two green turtles here at the moment. They're both under rehab. So ideally, we don't want to put turtles on display, but at the moment, this is an amazing volume of water for them to swim and to heal and to get better. So we've got Bob and Elvie. Both of them suffered the consequence of plastic pollution. So they're celebrity turtles. They're very well known. They're true ambassadors. They inspire people to rethink the bag, rethink the use of single-use plastics, because both of them had plastic stuck in their gut and in their stomach, which was horrible. And Bob even had balloons. So when we share our Bob story, especially with children, they suddenly think about the consequence of having balloons at parties and things like that. So very, very powerful stories. They're lovely creatures. They're super friendly. Ideally, we want to release them sooner than later. At this point in time, they're not ready, so we do regular health checks, and then we adjust our treatment protocols to get them ready for release. Every year we release turtles. In the last 9 years, we have rehabilitated and released more than 500 sea turtles.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
Wow! I didn't think it was going to be that much. That's really amazing, but also it's concerning that you've had to rehabilitate so many. Have majority of them been affected by plastic pollution or by other sort of injuries?
So it's a good mix of various reasons. However, we find that from the smallest little hatchlings to the largest turtles, most of them show some form of plastic pollution, like little microplastics that they then poo out or whatever. It's not always the cause of the injury. Fishing gear as well is a problem. Boat strikes, we've had some horrible boat strike injuries on the shells. And then quite often just being cold stunned. So they pop out of that warm current. They love warm water, just like me. And when they get into the cold water, they slow down, they put their little flippers on their backs, they float around, and if it's a very stormy sea, they'll wash up on the beaches. So all the turtles that end up with us generally wash up on beaches. And the amazing thing is, then they're rescued, but they're rescued by people who care. Yeah. So through all of this, those 500 turtles that we've managed to release were all rescued by people who just happen to be on the beach and happen to care, and that's the best part, actually.
So amazing. Yeah. Well, you said that Bob and Alvia are now in rehab. Yeah. What does their program look like?
So it always depends on the injury as well as the size of the turtle. So for them, Bob's been here for quite a while because he had severe injuries. It took very long. He had a cracked plastron. He had a horrible neurological infection. He was blind. So slow process. The smaller little turtles, a lot of them are just very dehydrated, very cold. We slowly warm them up. We start feeding them. So often they stay here anything between 3 to 4 months up to 3 to 4 years, if necessary, even longer.
Yeah.
But the idea is to get them back into the big open ocean as quickly as
soon.
possible because they're ocean travelers. So it all depends on what arrives, and then we custom fit the treatment schedule around that.
Now, they are here in this sort of confinement, I'll say loosely. But are turtles migratory?
Yes, so that's exactly why we love releases.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're serious swimmers. They
Yeah.
travel all around the world. And we've been able to validate our rehabilitation work by tagging the larger turtles.
Okay, I
So at the moment, we've got 4 turtles traveling the world with satellite tags on which we can follow. And it's been amazing. So collectively, we've followed these 4 turtles, and it's 2 loggerheads, olive ridley as well as a green turtle, for just under 1,000 days.
Okay.
So all together,
Yeah,
they've
okay.
traveled almost 40,000 kilometers
Wow.
together, which means it's like going around the world, like in a little relay race. So it's been so nice to see that firstly our rehabilitation efforts are successful.
Exactly.
And then once they're back in there, that's what turtles do. They travel the world. It's lovely.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today for your Aquarium Monday, speaking about Bob and Alvi, and we wish them the best for their rehabilitation. Join us again next week on Monday again for another edition of Aquarium Monday, only on Daily Download and Radio 786. This has been Aquarium Monday.